Ever wondered how a gecko can climb walls? Welcome to the marvelous world of these tiny creatures with extraordinary abilities. Geckos, a small species of lizard, are renowned for their ability to scamper up walls and even ceilings with ease. This is not a common trait shared among all animals. In fact, it's a unique skill that sets geckos apart in the animal kingdom. These little climbers have fascinated scientists and nature enthusiasts for years, sparking curiosity and research to understand the secrets behind their wall-scaling prowess. From their specialized anatomy to their uncanny ability to defy gravity, geckos are true climbing marvels. As we delve into the world of these remarkable reptiles, we'll uncover the intricate details of how they manage to stick to and move along surfaces that seem impossible to climb. Stay tuned to discover the secrets behind the gecko's gravity-defying skills. The excitement of this exploration is just beginning. To understand how geckos climb walls, we need to delve into their fascinating anatomy. In particular, we're going to focus on their feet, which are integral to their wall-climbing prowess. Now, a gecko's foot is a marvel of natural engineering. The underside of each foot is covered with tiny hair-like structures known as setae. These setae are not just simple hairs, they are specialized structures that have evolved over millions of years to assist geckos in their gravity-defying climbs. Each seta branches out into hundreds of even tinier structures called spatulae. Picture a tree, with the seta being the trunk and the spatulae representing the branches and leaves. Now imagine hundreds of thousands of these trees densely packed on a gecko's foot. That's the kind of intricate design we're talking about. These setae and spatulae are so small that they interact with the molecules on the surface the gecko is climbing. This interaction is not due to a sticky substance or suction or even friction. Instead, it's all about something called van der Waals forces. These forces are essentially weak electric forces that occur when molecules come very close to each other. When a gecko places its foot on a surface, the large number of spatulae come into close contact with the surface molecules, allowing these van der Waals forces to come into play. The cumulative effect of these forces across the millions of spatulae on a gecko's foot allows the gecko to stick to the surface. But that's not all. The setae and spatulae are arranged in a way that they can be angled to maximize contact with the surface. This means that regardless of the surface texture, be it smooth glass or rough rock, the gecko can adjust its feet for optimal adherence. So, it's the gecko's unique foot structure that enables their wall-climbing feats. But how exactly does it work? Well, that's a tale for the next scene. So stick around, just like our gecko friends do. You might be surprised to learn that geckos stick to walls using the power of physics. Yes, you heard that right. Physics, the study of matter and its motion, plays a pivotal role in the gravity-defying abilities of geckos. Now, let's delve a bit deeper into this fascinating phenomenon. The secret lies in a concept known as van der Waals forces. Named after the Dutch scientist Johannes Diederik van der Waals, these forces are the sum of the attractive or repulsive forces between molecules other than those due to covalent bonds or electrostatic interactions. But how do geckos harness the power of these forces to stick to walls? Well, it all comes down to the structure of their feet. A gecko's foot is covered in tiny hair-like structures called setae. Each setae, in turn, branches out into thousands of smaller tips called spatulae. These structures are so small that they interact with the molecules of the surfaces they touch, establishing van der Waals forces. Now imagine the sheer number of setae and spatulae on a gecko's foot. This vast number greatly increases the surface area of the foot in contact with the wall, thereby magnifying these forces to a level where they can counteract gravity. The result? A gecko that can effortlessly scamper up a wall, much to our amazement. However, it's not just about sticking to the wall. Geckos can control these forces to move around freely. They can peel their feet off the wall with ease and then reapply them, all while maintaining a firm grip. This is made possible by the angle at which the setae are applied and removed, a process that's as intricate as it is efficient. So, thanks to the magic of physics, geckos can defy gravity. But there's more to it than just sticking to the wall. Stay tuned as we continue to unravel the remarkable world of geckos. While sticking to the wall is one thing, moving around is a whole different ballgame. Consider this. A gecko, a creature so small you can hold it in the palm of your hand, has the ability to scale vertical surfaces and even hang upside down from the ceiling. It's not just about sticking to the wall, but also about moving around. So how do they do it? Well, it all comes down to the setae. those millions of tiny hair-like structures we talked about earlier. Geckos can control these setae, changing the direction of the forces they generate. This ability allows them to move along walls and even on ceilings with ease. Imagine trying to walk on a wall. It would feel like the world is spinning, right? But for geckos, it's just another walk in the park. Now you might be wondering, does their tail play a role in all of this? And the answer is a resounding yes. The tail of a gecko is not just for show. It's a crucial part of their movement and maneuverability. When a gecko moves, its tail helps maintain balance, acting like a counterweight. It's like a tightrope walker using a balancing pole. The tail also assists in quick turns and can even serve as a fifth limb if needed. That's right, geckos can use their tails to aid in climbing. Talk about multitasking. But it's not just about moving. Geckos can also control their speed, capable of moving rapidly when needed or slowly creeping along to avoid detection. They are, in essence, the stealthy ninjas of the animal kingdom, using their unique abilities to navigate their environment in ways most creatures can't. And so, with these smart movement techniques, the ability to control setae, a balancing tail, and a knack for speed control, geckos truly are the ultimate wall climbers. But how do they unstick themselves? We'll get to that in the next scene. Stay tuned. Unsticking might seem simple, but for a gecko it's a precise art. Now you might be wondering, how does this little creature manage to detach itself from surfaces without leaving any sticky residue behind? Well, it's all down to a specific peeling motion and a bit of physics. You see, geckos have millions of hair-like structures on their feet, known as setae. These setae create a strong bond with surfaces, allowing geckos to climb walls and even hang upside down from ceilings. But don't be fooled by their sticky abilities. Geckos are no ordinary sticky tape reptiles. When a gecko decides it's time to move, it doesn't just lift its foot off the wall. Instead, it peels its toes away in a very specific manner. Imagine peeling a sticker off a surface, starting from one edge and moving to the other. That's essentially what a gecko does, but on a much smaller and more intricate scale. This peeling motion is so precise that it allows the gecko to quickly disengage the millions of setae on its feet. What's even more fascinating is that this action doesn't leave any sticky residue behind. That's right, even after climbing all over your walls, a gecko won't leave any traces of its adventure. Now let's talk about jumping. When a gecko wants to jump off a wall, it doesn't just leap into the air. It first disengages its setae, just like it does when walking. Then it uses its strong hind legs to push off the wall. This allows the gecko to jump with precision and land safely, ready to continue its exploration. So the next time you see a gecko scurrying up a wall, remember that it's not just climbing. It's performing a carefully coordinated dance of physics and biology. From their intricate foot structure to their smart physics, geckos truly are marvels of nature. So we've unraveled the mystery of how geckos climb walls. We've delved deep into the fascinating world of gecko anatomy, highlighting the importance of their specialized toe pads, covered in millions of tiny hairs, each branching out into hundreds of even smaller spatula-shaped tips. We've explored the incredible role of the van der Waals forces, the weak intermolecular connections that allow geckos to stick to almost any surface. We've marveled at their unique movement techniques, the intricate dance of pressing and peeling that lets them navigate vertical terrains with ease. And finally, we've learned about the art of unsticking, how geckos can effortlessly detach their feet by changing the angle of their toe hairs. Next time you see a gecko defying gravity, you'll know exactly how they do it. Remember, nature is full of wonders waiting to be discovered.